Hello, cartoon fanatics. RJ here, and you know what time it is? Time for a witch's duel! That's right, Cartoon Corner is going back into the owl house, and if possible, things are getting even more exciting. More witches, more lore, more of King being the adorable personification of Alex Hirsch! Today's episode has Ida, Luce, King, Willow, and Gus going to a witch's job convention. Witches in school get to experiment the different types of magic, and then can join various covens. Luce, Willow, and Gus are excited to go and see all of the various covens, and we get to find out that Gus is a part of the illusionist coven, which fits his personality very well right now. King's happy about receiving tons of free stuff from the various covens, but Ida's not so hot on the system, so to speak. When you join a coven, your magic is restrained to just the one specific magic oriented towards your coven. Ida never joined a coven, leaving her free to do all kinds of magic. But it also makes her a criminal, one of the many offenses on her list of criminal acts. But the creme de la creme of covens is the Emperor's Coven. Only the best witches get a chance to join the Emperor's Coven, and those in the coven can perform any kind of magic as well. After an astonishing presentation, we meet one of these top elite witches, the leader of the coven, Lilith, whose staff is either a raven or a crow. I'm guessing it's a raven based on her raven-like hair as well. Not only is she one of the top of the elite, but she's also Ida's sister. This part wasn't exactly a secret. The promo that advertised the season mentioned this woman was Ida's sister, but we didn't know much about her. But there's no time to unpack all of that just yet, as Luce encounters Amity again. So, I was right in assuming Amity didn't realize Luce was a human, but those formalities are quickly set straight as Luce properly introduces herself. Amity is appalled at being embarrassed by a human, and finds it laughable that Luce is even trying to be a witch at all. What I like about this rivalry is that it's not based in disdain from both sides. Amity's goal is to join the Emperor's Coven, which means she has to show that she is the best. She's got a bit of a perfectionist complex. And speaking as someone who struggles with perfectionism, the moment you don't do something perfect, it basically feels like your whole life is over. We can understand Amity's hatred of Luce, and when she takes it too far by insulting King, Luce naively challenges her to a witch's duel. This can only go horribly wrong. So, with Luce being Ida's apprentice and Amity being Lilith's apprentice, the two sisters go head-to-head as well for this magic duel. Ida's determined to prove her sister wrong, so she places magic booby traps to make it appear that Luce is performing all this wild magic. Of course, it's quickly revealed that Luce is cheating, and it turns out that Lilith was cheating with Amity as well, using a magic enhancing patch to make Amity's spell a lot more powerful than what she could do with her actual skills. Amity is immediately horrified, and we see a new naive, scared side of her. Like I mentioned a little earlier, her perfect image is even more ruined now, and for Amity, her whole life seems to be over. However, Luce shares a touching moment with her by showing the simple light spell that she knows, and Amity is surprised, to say the least. They part on somber terms, which I really enjoyed. Usually rivalries in cartoons are built up with both sides gritting teeth and baring arms and all that nonsense until the rival is ultimately defeated or until we see a softer side of said rival and they get redeemed to the protagonist's side. Amity is definitely not Luce's friend after this, but they aren't necessarily enemies either. They're two characters on separate tracks, observing and occasionally uncomfortably interacting with each other. It's a unique and interesting dynamic I haven't seen that often. And something tells me we'll get to see a lot more of these interactions with their mentors being Ida and Lilith. Something tells me those two are gonna clash a whole lot more than Luce and Amity would prefer. Yeah, I wasn't going to leave the Bird Lady's epic magic duel out. Again, I'm loving this dynamic between Ida and Lilith. They are both powerful in their own respective ways, and once again, they ventured down different paths. Lilith went the perfect and exact way into the Emperor's coven, while Ida chose the wild individualistic route by not joining any coven and getting into trouble and going to prison once. You can see their differences in their character designs, and we get this epic duel with them. Lilith giving it everything she has, and Ida easily matching her magic skills, and they got cool magic spells oriented towards owls and ravens that they do to fight each other. And they have different colors when they do the spells. Lilith prefers more of a bluish color, and Ida's like all about the earthy tones. The duel ends in a draw, but we could see a few times Ida was getting ready to falter. Lilith might possibly be a little more powerful, but Ida's wit and willingness to try anything and everything gives her savvy options in her magic duels. Definitely my favorite moment of the episode. Gonna say that right here, right now. Don't need a separate segment for that. Favorite moment of the episode, right here. Well, next to King, of course. I always love seeing King be a dork. So, after this heart-pounding episode with fantastic character dynamics, I'm the most curious about the Emperor's Coven. The most elite coven's duty is to enforce the laws of the Emperor, whoever that may be. It's certainly strict and tactical, as is all the ways of magic presented in this world. But who is this Emperor? How much control does he have, and how much of a threat might Ida pose onto him and the system in place? Ida's made it very clear she purposely avoided covens because of how they minimalize your magic. However, the Emperor's Coven allows you to use all magic. So Ida not choosing her sister's coven means she must have something against the Emperor and his way of ruling things. At the end of the episode, we see Lilith is being tasked with successfully capturing Ida and presenting her before the Emperor to face her criminal acts. So this is something we'll definitely return to, and hopefully we'll get to see this Emperor before the end of the season. Ida also briefly mentioned that she had parents, but didn't want to get into that mess. Hey, wouldn't it be funny if the Emperor was Ida and Lilith's father? Wait, no, that's not a theory. It's not a theory, guys. Don't look into my ramblings. I don't have enough evidence for this. Oh, well, I think I've said enough for 1 week, especially since I still feel my voice attempting to crack with the remaining sinuses. So if you like this video, put a thumbs up and press that like button. As usual, you can subscribe to see more, and links to other suggestion videos are in the description below. I'm RJ, this was Cartoon Corner, and before I end, King collecting all the free junk at a convention is totally me. Hoard all that stuff, King! Get those reusable tote bags for Luce to carry you around in. You go, demon!